that just is and will always be. Man-made or not, it's a ritual. It's a thing that you have to do in order for you to get on with yourself. You have to take a shower, right? So you don't smell. That's a ritual. You cleanse yourself constantly. What's
Mm-hmm.
to say not that you don't cleanse yourself in spirituality with the things like, salt for the impurities and the evil to negate away, or for, putting holy water on yourself so no spirits can touch you because it's evil and can't stand the light. But I'm here to tell you that just because it's light does not mean it's always all right. Just because it's dark does not mean it's always bad. Without the light, you can't have the dark, and without the dark, the light. Therefore, you got to coexist. And you would call, what is it? It's not duality. It's the other one where everything is connected to one. I can't remember that name. But I figure we get started. If anybody would like a reading, go ahead and go give it out. But I'm going to go ahead and give out the reading for the day. Now, normally I do my readings for the day on my Instagram on @WickedSins, or my business account @SinfulDelight. And it's just kind of like a vibe check in to see what it is that you're on your path for. I usually do it in threes. We go 1, 3. You have your choices or options of 1, 3, and 5. 1 represents a specific question that you have, or you leave yourself open to interpretation. 3 represents your past, your present, and your future. 5 represents the journey that you're on right now. And when I say tarot reading, I don't mean like I'm not going to tell you when you're going to die, because that's just fucked up. I'm not going to tell you if you're going to win the lottery or not, because that's a high probability to chance. And the future is constantly always changing. Doesn't mean that it's always going to stay the same. So it's forever flowing. I can only tell you these possibility wise, depending on how much energy and how much you're willing to work for it. This is called manifestation. I only do my part so much as a seer, or kind of to, let's put it this way, I'm a projector. So when you ask me certain things about yourself, I am just the vessel. I don't know your life. I don't know your name. I don't know anything about you. This is just my intuition. It's telling me to tell you about yourself. I know nothing about. These things are not rehearsed. These things are not for fun and games, for publicity. This for genuinely helping. I am one of those who has 3 jobs this lifetime around. Why? Because this is not my first rodeo. 3 lifetimes around here is guardian, protector, and healer. Out of all those 3, 9 times out of 10, I'm the healer in this one. But that doesn't mean I'm not afraid to go ahead and pick up my sword and go do what I got to do.
Yeah.
That's just it. But nobody likes that part, because that's too aggressive. That's too intimidating. That's too fucking scary. When I tell you it's not. Everything that I do is always coming out of love. I just happen to be real about it. I'm not going to sugarcoat things for you, but I will be tactful. Not here to hurt your feelings. I'm here to help you understand. Just because you make a mistake does not mean you're a bad person. You just have to change your outlook, your energy, and
Yeah,
your
Mars on her
situation
shit
and your
right
way of
now.
thinking about things, so you can keep that away
Mars
and
on her
keep it
shit right
balanced.
now. Real talk.
See, nowadays, people are all about that fear, that paranoia, that bullshit, when all it really is just like, hey, listen, we all have some form of anxiety for some reason, because it's our bodies telling us that you need to pay attention, be cautious, and watch out. Not be afraid, but watch where you're going, because obviously your body's telling you, is like, hey, I don't feel right. Something's up,
Yeah.
you know? You get a stomach ache, your chest starts tightening up, you start getting the sweats, your anxiety, you're panicking, your shortage of breath. That's your body telling you shit's going down. You need to prepare. Hello, my love. Y'all, this is a friend of mine over here. This is one I was talking to you about here, over in the 209 in Stockton, who helps run manifestations and margaritas, is Jairus the Joy Station, aka I cannot talk at the moment. I can never Tatiana. Yeah. Starts with a T.
You
At
said
this moment,
rubbing
I'm
my
excited because
beard.
she's also one of
Rubbing my beard with deep
my
interest.
people I go to myself when I get readings when I'm having issues. So
This is
she's the
amazing, y'all. Real
bomb.com.
talk.
But as I was
These are
saying,
what our Mondays are gonna be like.
your anxiety is actually there to help
Come in, get your reading.
not necessarily center you, but help
Past,
keep you
present,
on your toes, keep you paying
future,
attention and alert. Just because
right
you
now.
experiencing some form of PTSD,
Come in, get
CPTSD,
a reading if
does
y'all
not
around.
mean
But I
that you
appreciate
are
everybody that's here.
fragile or you're weak. You're just hyper vigilant and alert so that shit doesn't happen again. There's ways to
Facts.
coping with this without it hindering us. And in this sense, that's what spirituality is here for, is to help us understand and cope with ourselves. We are here and we are born alone and we die alone. Everybody's always afraid of that. Why? What is so bad about being alone? What is so bad about being by yourself? Is it because you are afraid of your thoughts? Are you afraid of reliving your past self? You shouldn't be afraid of that. These are all parts of you. These are fractures that make the whole. And once you accept the whole, there's nothing really to be afraid of because it's just you. Now, can your fractured selves take a life of their own? Not put into a perspective, if they're not put into a way of making yourself better. Because if you purposely stagnate yourself, then there's no growth, there's no life. You're just existing as a hollow shell. And that's what's happening right now. Hollow shells of ignorance, of completely begotten obliviousness, just zombified.
Yeah.
And you're still living, but you're not really living because your soul is just like it's diminishing. You know why you get like certain headaches like right here, or you get like the building like of the temple and it just kind of builds right here. This is what in the middle is called the pineal gland. This is your third eye. Usually you start getting headaches right around this way. This is like saying like, dude, this is intense. I'm getting receiving messages usually, or you hear your own voice, your convictions, your it is all part of spirituality. And in the sense of religion wise, there are those of us who are brought up in the church, Christians, Catholics, Protestants, Mormons, atheists, all this other stuff, because that was brought on by our parents. Now, when you reach a certain age, you need to, you can, I shouldn't say you need, you can decide for yourself what it is, what path you wish to follow. If you leave yourself open to possibilities, you might just find what you're looking for, but not what you might think. There are times I'm going to be into numerology, for instance. When you see constantly seeing the same numbers twice of like 111, 222, 333, 555, 311, 711, all of that, those are what you call angel numbers in that sense, that it's a way of form of communication, receiving messages. Deja vu is a form of that we've been here before. Honey, you're when you go to sleep, what do you think you do? You go to dream. What do you think a dream is? A big form of astral projection. Our minds are literally the most powerful things that we have. And with that, they could be easily manipulated, be turned into something worse. Our biggest nightmares are become our biggest fears, and therefore it's our biggest self. We are the boogeyman in our dreams. Not what we fucking think about, but no, it's our life decisions that make us the boogeyman in our dreams, that we think, oh, it's evil, it's this, that's like, no, it's literally ourselves choking us out, trying to wake us up from this horrible sleep nightmare that we are living right now in our reality of some form, call it the matrix, the system, the game, whatnot. A lot of us are waking up to spiritual and turning back to old ways, and therefore completing another cipher. And in the hip hop world, ciphering is Rolling Stone, keeping going, the ups and downs, the life struggles. Okay. But could you ever think about why you have those life struggles? To help you learn. See, a lot of the time they tell us that we are born with sin. How are we born with sin if we are born of the innocent and of love? Okay, it is not our fault. Therefore, it is not who we are and who where we came from. It's about how we do the rest of the way to be a better person than where you came from. Just because you have a name does not define you who you are. You define you on who you are, not your past, not your family, and certainly not your friends. It's you define who you are. And the next point it's going to get me into is being using this form of divination. These are called tarot cards. Now, let's go ahead and run down the segment of tarot cards. Tarot cards have been used for thousands of damn years in a formal way to gather counsel, just like people gathering in a room for business meetings, for job projects, for school projects, for all of that. That's all it is. And they say it's from the devil. How could it be of the devil if the devil was an angel too? So therefore, are you saying that God's gifts are devil's gifts? Would that be duality, or would that be a just another connection that it is of the same fucking thing
Yeah.
of good or evil? Honey, it's not good or evil if it's black or white. It's the intention of doing good and evil. That's what they fucking forget you about. So my cards are basically my way of helping people. My intention and my goal is always from love. Regardless if that means I'm a little aggravated, I'm not aggravated. I'm telling you, I speak out of love. And so my approach may be a little apprehensive, it may be a little intense. I never said I was a goody two shoes. No, I'm just a real person who just happens to have these gifts that I'm choosing to share with y'all, that I'm choosing to extend my energy, my time, because I believe in this thing so much. But do not have that to be mistaken that my kindness and weakness and all of that means that it belongs to you. No, it belongs to me and me alone. That is my power that I'm sharing. And I could call it back at any time, any place, anywhere. Why? Because I can. No power in the universe can stop you if you know yourself well enough and if you got the will and courage. Ain't nothing in this life for free, sweetheart. Because if it sounds good, too good to be true, it probably is. There's no cutting corners in this life. But there are loopholes, and you can ask for help. It's just a matter of how you ask those questions. Are you coming from a place of selfishness? Are you coming from a place of hopelessness? What is your intention? What is it that you cherish the most that you're willing to give up in this exchange for this knowledge? It's a barter. It's a trade. It's called transformation. And there's another form of spirituality is alchemy. Alchemy has does this, when you get into the science and you have the bottles and the chemicals and the potions and this and that. Alchemy has to deal with life, of spirit, of fire, of water, of air, of all the main components that makes us up human. It's a form of science. It's a form of philosophy in a sense. uh Paulo Coelho, a really good author. The Alchemist is one of my favorite books because it teaches you about how tremendous the human spirit is. When you are battered and you are hungry and you are black and blue and you have nothing left to lose and you are literally on the brink of just losing your shit and just dying, but there's a glimmer of hope. And with that hope leads you to your life's purpose and treasure. That's what
Yeah.
alchemy is about. It's finding
Facts.
your life purpose and treasure and therefore creating, letting it go in some place and letting it rise again to something more than what it was before. Because again, you are trading off the things that you no longer are serving you and therefore coming into things that are going to help you grow and manifest your best self. And what do we call this? This is very famous. This is considered to be the devil and Baphomet. I'm gonna tell you this: Baphomet has nothing to do with the devil. Okay, this means as beloved, so below. You are in charge to creating your own hell or pleasurable paradise, because as you are living, so you will bring it onto your next cycle, regardless if you decide to come back here on this realm or move on to the next. Who knows? Time could only tell, but we don't know when our time is. So we have to make the most of it. Now, I'm not saying be Mother Teresa. No, I'm not saying that. I'm saying just be the best person to who you can be. And with that, that's how where these come in, the oracle deck that I specifically use, because I'm a visual person. I speak and flow with life. I'm a poet. So therefore, oracle makes sense to me. It's visual, it's tangible. It means I trust my intuition enough to tell you about yourself using these cards when I know absolutely nothing about any of you. That's why I do what I do. And when you do tarot, you get, like I said, you give the perspective on the possibility of things. It doesn't have to say that it's going to happen right away. It could happen in a day, a month, a year, a minute, whenever. But when spirits say it's going to happen, it will happen in its due time. If you want it to, if you continue to go down the path and manifest and put in the time and work that you need to, nothing comes for free. If you are not willing to put in the time, honey, it's just not going to work. The universe is not going to answer you if you keep asking, because you do have to give. You do have to sacrifice. And I'm not talking about, you know, animal sacrifices, human sacrifice. I mean, the sacrifices of your pleasures. Okay, and when I mean by pleasures, I mean anything, and that could be drugs, that could be weed, that could be alcohol, that's this or that. If you find yourself that they're the medicines that are meant to help you be better, and you just are just disrespecting, just taking for just the gluttonous and the good times and the feelings and all of that, you are abusing power. You are
That's
abusing your body. You are abusing
yeah.
yourself, and you are giving into the things that are we
Fuck you.
ourselves are not supposed to get into, because what is it?
That's what.
Too much of a good thing can turn really bad. And that's when it turns to an addiction. That's when it turns to a fucking demon. A demon in the sense that you have to pave your way with blood, sweat, and tears in order to get back to where you need to be on the right track. And sometimes we all got to go through that. I am no angel myself. Okay. I live every day with my own demons, my own shit that lives up here constantly that I have to go through. And not only not to say to waste time, but to fight back my own self, my own treacherous fucking thoughts, dude. Just cuz I sit here and talk about spirituality does not mean that I myself am not, you know, I myself,
Yeah.
I bleed, I scratch easy, I cry, I get frustrated, I cuss, I scream, I do all the things that everyone else does. But just because I do that doesn't mean that I don't lose my way. I'm human. Now,
Trying to.
what type of human you ask? You know, the basic. I'm feral, I'm wild, I like to drink, I like to smoke, I like to have fun. But with all in limitations of it's not going to bring out the worst in me. No, because I intend to bring out the best in me. I want to amplify myself. I need to surround myself with the positive mindset that I can get through it. I need to believe that I am not worthless. I am not wasting time. I am not doing the things that could be, you know, getting me more doing other things. No, because I genuinely care what happens and the spiritual wellness of others. Because it concerns me. How does not one take care of themselves? Because with doing that as a healer and doing this type of practice, it heals me too, because it's a big fat mirror. And nobody talks about how empaths are just big fucking walking mirrors.
Facts.
I myself am an empath. I myself know certain things that I can't explain. I I know, a person so well that I've never met them before. And that's just through my cards. That's just through my intuition. That's just me looking at you, feeling your energy,
Yeah.
seeing your color, and just knowing that I understand and I am sorry that you are going through this absolute, time, treacherous time, horrible time, or joyous time. There are certain things, but guess what? Obviously, you come here to seek the answers, right? What is it that you're going to give up for your answers? Are you going to change? Are you really going to commit to this time? You have to ask yourself. And each time when you touch the cards, and when I say touch the cards, I mean everything. Shuffle them, touch them, put them all out, whichever way. You are literally asking the cards of the, search me, help me find out what it is that I'm here for, that I'm made of. Like, what can I do to better myself? How to make my situation better, or worse, or either way. It just matters on the intentions, and are you willing to fulfill them yourself, even if it's hard, even if it's the things that you it's only the fickle of the what's the word I'm looking for, the shallowness and vapidness. Are you going to be that greedy and insensitive? Do you really think you deserve that, what you're asking? Are you going to put up your ante? Because it has to do a lot with the three C's of comprehension,
Yeah.
communication, and uh, damn it, I can't remember the other one. I'm too
Commitment to
nervous.
our life and
But when
Mondays.
I mean by that, I mean like you have to,
Whatever.
commitment. There we go. Commitment,
Communication.
comprehension, and
With one
communication.
personal
You have those three C's, you could get through anything. And that's what therapy is for, is to help you realize that if you talk it out and if you apply the solutions to it, you're going to see results. Because nothing in this life is for free at all. It has to take a little blood, sweat, and tears and a little bit of elbow grease, because that brings on self
Yeah.
worth, self growth, and self reliance. And when you have that, nobody can stop you and nobody can take you down from what it is you are here for. If you realize your purpose at a young age, honey, you're one of the lucky ones. But that doesn't mean that you know it all. No, that means you have a little head start to the game of life. But along the way you learn to shed certain ideas, shed certain uh attitudes, um, behaviors, moods, drugs of choice at the time. Everything of that can change when you know that something is needs to happen, some growth needs to. And this is what we called what's it called? Growing pains, midlife crises of some sort. And there's a word for this, and it's called the darkest night of the soul. Darkest night of the soul goes into basically your lowest lows, the agony, the constant crying, the frustrations, the way that things are just not going right. You keep getting shitted on, you keep getting shitted on, you keep getting shitted on, until you realize that there's nothing I can do, there's nowhere I can run or hide. So sit with it. That's what it is. Our darkest night of the soul is asking you to sit with it, just for you to understand. Literally, it's like seeing a mirror of yourself, and yourself, your younger self, or whoever you see when you see in the mirror, is asking you to sit with them so you can understand, so you can heal the shit that nobody can seem to touch. The only reason why I'm tearing up right now, because it's the truth. I'm tearing up because not only am I talking to you, I'm talking through a portal. So in the sense, I'm kind of talking back to myself. There's energy going back and forth. Even though all your mics are off right now, I know shit's going through each and every one of you and reverting back to me, saying that y'all know what the fuck I'm talking about.
Yeah.
So I digress. That is a little introduction of little of the spiritual uh, stuff that I know that I want to share with all of you. This is my gift. This is, in a sense, my job as a healer. But just know, just because you're a healer and just because you're peaceful doesn't mean that you're not gonna take no shit. There's a lot of us just you know, disguised in the love and light shit, okay? Don't get me wrong. Love and light, it's cool. It's all right. But not everybody's of the light and light, love and light. A lot of us are in the dark who say fuck that because we know who we are on the inside and we know how good we are. We just don't always have to say love and light, say positivity. It's not always going to be rainbows and sunshines, everybody. Sometimes it's black coffee, a cigarette, and some whiskey. You're going to have those days of a cigarette in one hand, the whiskey in the other, and said, fuck this, and just give me black coffee straight because I'm not having it. I'm not putting up with shit today. And that's okay. That is okay to feel that, but not let it consume you. Because if it consumes you, then we got a problem. Because then you're toxic as fuck. And when you're toxic as fuck, you smell. And when I say you smell, I'm not saying physical smell. I mean like you smell spiritually. You smell sick. You smell, you're fatigued. You're upset. Your body is like literally telling you in your chakras, like your stomach area, and your is close enough to your root. So a lot of that has to deal with uneasiness of the truth findings of things that of the sexual nature that you're not giving yourself or have been abused or things of that. Like you have to get comfortable with the uncomfortable. That is why we have these types of outlets. That's why we have these type of people exist.
Yeah.
Witches,
Mars is going
priestesses,
crazy, yo. No
people
cap.
who literally
Mars is going
take
really
up
fucking crazy.
our your sponsors
He's
onto the
going
nether
crazy
realm,
right now,
talking
yo.
to the spirits, to our
Like
ancestors,
fuck, bro.
wanting to protect you or to
Like
make
she's
sure you
literally
you have a good day. You do a lot
she's
of these
talking that
things.
shit.
And a lot of us don't get credit for that because people take us for granted. And when I see I'm by us, I mean like Jairus and myself who work on the spiritual side of things take us for granted. They don't think that this is worth our people's time, people's energy. It's yeah, that was great. No, this takes time. This takes energy. This takes a lot of sacrifices that we don't we don't got to do it. Like I it irks me in some ways, but you know what? It's not my place. Why? Because I know the universe has me in the end. And always has me in the end. Whenever I feel like I'm getting worried and like, oh man, I'm kind of broke. How am I going to do this? Someone buys one of my stuff. Someone goes ahead and gives me money or someone blesses me. It's just like it's a realization like don't question it if you're not going to like the answer or you already know the answer to this. We got you. Just trust and believe. And when I say trust and believe, I mean like you really got to trust and believe. I used to sell not sell, I used to give out 100 silver uh polymer foiled banknotes. They're kind of hard and expensive to buy now, so I haven't been getting them lately. But I used to, you know, if they give me a little piece of what they have, I want them to get 100-fold. Because thank you for sharing what you shared with me. Not only did you put gas in my car or food on my table or help me pay a bill, but I hope you get that same in return. So in a sense, it's a trade of energies. It's like a trade of goods. That's what I do. I run my tarot cards off a tips and donation system because I don't believe in charging you for my gift. If I'm going to charge you, I'm going to give you a whole spread. Honey, you wanted to have a four-course meal. You go and you pay for a four-course meal or a five-course meal or a Michelin star because that's what it goes down to. You want the nitty gritty of your goddamn selves. Here I am telling you the nitty gritty of your goddamn self, and yet here you are, you're going to spit in my face
Yeah.
and you're going to literally piss on my work
Yeah.
for what? For what? And then you're gonna go turn around and say like, oh, it didn't work because I didn't do this. Honey, you didn't put the work in. It is not my job to put the work in for you. You got to put in the work for yourself.
Yeah.
I'm just letting you know about the notes. Here's a cheat sheet. That's all it is. But I digress. I said we were going to do the word of the day, and now we're going to do the word of the day. Well, technically, the word of the night. So here we go. We're going to shuffle.
Let's
We're going to
go.
shuffle. And we're going to shuffle until somebody pops out and says hello or tells you about anyone, about yourselves, or about anybody on YouTube. Because if you out there and you on YouTube and you get mad and you come after me, we can sit down. We can have tea. But I'm just going to tell you, I'm not going to tell you I told you so. I'm just going to tell you, are you really sure about that? And when I say, are you really sure about that? My girl, the Lady of the Lake, pops up. Lady of the Lake. And if the specific deck that I have is called the Avalon. That is the spirit, Wisdom of Avalon. I'm a huge fan of Arthurian legend. What did Arthurian legend, Uther Pendragon, father of Arthur Pendragon, stand for? He standed for honesty. He standed for chivalry, for worthiness, trust, for all the things that are good, and upheld to that to the highest degree. Yeah, he got, his best friend went ahead and slept with his goddamn wife. Sorry that happened. But Lancelot also had question activities too. He wasn't a full on straight ass man either. But they don't want you to know that. Anywho, so his wife, fucks around and goes into a convent. His best friend goes into the wild. But when it was time to face his half sister Morgana and all the other shit that went down because they went and had a son together, Morgana went and raped her brother in his sleep and had their son Mordred. Mordred went ahead and grew up and was poisoned so much by his mother that King Arthur had to go and slay his own child with his half sister.
Wow.
What does that tell you? You have to do the most difficult things in order to find the fucking truth of it, in order
Yeah.
to be forgiven, or in order to forgive. So, with that being said, the Lady of the Lake holds on to the absolute truth of things. That is your self respect. That is your self reliance. That is your self worth, all of that. And you just need to find the truth about yourself that maybe you're not happy with who you are. You're not happy the way things are going. Why is that? Are you dissatisfied? Are you, just not where you want to be at? Or you're feeling that the things that I love and I used doing are not bringing me happiness anymore. Honey, this is
Mm.
the time of I'm done.
Oh.
I'm done with the bullshit.
Oh.
I'm done with the lying. I'm done with this constant fakeness. I need to wake up and realize there's work need to be done. There's truth need to be said because it's obviously coming up in the surface. It's the empty feeling that you cannot feel the void in because you've never accepted yourself in the first place. So it's time to be actually real and honest, not only with yourself, but with the people you are having these types of feelings towards to, not just on yourself, or that people are projecting onto you. It has to do with the way of your thinking. It has to do with the people you surround yourself with. And that goes with family too. Just because you're blood doesn't mean you're always gonna be fucking close. Okay. We don't get to choose or pick the families we are born into. We do get to choose and pick the family that are worthy of our time and also give. It's a give back, take and give. You take care of one another. Blood doesn't make you anything but human. That was for the word of the evening. I do, what is it? I have, if you would like a 1, 3, or 5 card reading, don't be shy. Please go ahead and ask. I am here to take all open. If you like to donate and put tips, I do have my, what's it called? I cannot remember what it is. No, my tree link. One of those. Yes. Yeah, I have my link tree. And if you go, I have my link tree, and if you go and if you're already following me on my Wicked Sins or my Sinful Delight, you'll find my link tree. It is posted right up there. I have Cash App. It is the same as my name, Wicked Sins. It is for Cash App, it's a money symbol, Wicked Sins. For Venmo, at my full name, if you're following me, or at Wicked Sins. So go for it. Y'all have any questions? Y'all want to participate? Any comments? Please let me know. 5 is the journey that you're on now. 3 represents your past, present, and future, and 1 represents a specific question you have, or you leave yourself open to interpretation. Oh, you want to go 5? Okay, just tell me when to stop. You chose 5. Current situation, expectation, hidden influence, advice, and outcome. Your current situation is the spider. You have so much on your plate, sir, and your muse just keeps coming and coming and coming. Honey, they just might as well buy the Energizer bunny batteries and put it on the vibrator and just keep going out with the spewing out with these ideas, because when they hit you, it's a colorful, it's a wham of just like boom right in your chest, or it's just like it hits you in your gut feeling like, fuck, I got an idea, let me put this. And it seems to happen when you're just writing or when you're listening, and there's just a certain hook that just kind of gets on and says, you got to do it, you got to do it, you got to do it, you got to do it. It's spinning this web. You have this massive amount of untapped potential, but it's slowly being tapped in. It's just, it's not it's not at the great times when you don't, when you want it to tap in, and then when you don't want it to tap in. When you want it to tap in, it don't. You're blank, you're dry, you're frustrated. And when you do tap in, it's when you're like, I'm stressed out, I'm tired, I'm hungry, I'm angry, I'm fucked. And then it's like, wait a minute, no, I'm not. I got this. Da 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 da. Then it's a whole up and down, to the point where it's like it literally makes you nauseated and sick at times. And that's just the excitement of things. Sometimes that's usually our body telling us like, okay, we need to calm down, we need to take a step back, go do the necessary things, go take a chill pill, go relax, go sleep a little bit. Rehydrating yourself is very important,
Yeah.
because when these intense starts, it's just like you're always on the go with the
Yeah.
creation starts. And that's your current situation, your expectation. You're always beginning something, always fucking beginning. And it's just like you don't necessarily stop per se of following it, but it's like you hit certain save modes on certain games,
Yeah.
and then you eventually go back to it. You have to kind of stop doing things like that, because it just gets you onto lists of unfinished projects. You kind of got to buckle
Yeah.
down and really focus on a few things at a time. You're not a young buck anymore. Your mind and body are not going to go at the same pace it once did. So you got to give it a chance to kind of take itself down, let you live a little, and then kind of go back to finishing your projects the way you're supposed to. Start
Yeah.
out with one, finish that. Start out the other, knock them out like that, so you don't overwhelm and burn yourself out. That's unhealthy, and you shorten your life that way. That's your expectation, your hidden influence. You're starting to catch on to certain things, certain patterns, certain situations are constantly pulling up. You're making all the right decisions because you're not that person who used to be years ago. You're going into yourself to where I choose me. I choose peace of mind. I choose to walk away from it because it's no
It
longer,
opens the door during the stream.
it doesn't matter. If you fucking go after that person, what's it going to do? You're going to still feel like shit. Yeah, they're going to be on the ground, but you're still going to feel like shit. You know, it's not going to do anything because it's already happened. What's the solution? You move on. You don't. react to it. You kind of say, okay, thank you for your services or thank you for your time. We cool. I don't want this. I don't
Yeah.
need it. It just does it. It's you're realizing that you don't have to always react to certain things when people want you to react to certain things. That means you are taking your power back, your sanity, your time, your essence, your faith, your peace from them. They are no longer under your guidance. They are no longer under your protection. Because if they keep fucking up on the same things from years ago and the patterns keep going it, but it's just in different, it comes up in different situations, the names and faces will change.
Yeah.
The situation always remains. That's your hidden influence, your advice. Only up from here, baby. Nothing but good times, good luck, good shit coming.
uh,
Because you're already doing away with no longer serving you with what is slowing down, what is taking your time, eating too much time up, and what you need to take breaks. It's all a
yeah.
learning curve for you. And once you have that, that's your advice. Your outcome is then you learn how to clean up after yourself. And that means cleaning out your closet, cleaning out your friends list, cleaning out your family list, cleaning out the things that are just not here for you in your time and your essence and
Positive.
your need for the change, for the commitments, for the drive, so you can make room for those that are on your side, on your
Exactly.
grind,
Yeah.
on
Yeah.
the road to where you feel that it is necessary where you need to be.
Facts. Would love it. All right, I just wanted to make sure, yo, because I tend to yell facts and like things like that while like you're talking. So I'm like, all right, just mute. Like the YouTube can still hear me, right? So I'm saying facts while you're talking. Let's go, Edgar. Thank you, man. I appreciate all the love in the chat on the YouTube. Yeah, hey, Marz is killing it. Yeah. All right. I'm sorry, I had to hype it up for a second.
Dab break.
Yeah, yeah.
I'm calling it. And yes, I dab. Yes, I smoke marijuana.
Pop
And
in,
if you have
Bubba. Take a 1 gram dab right now.
ah!
Roberto, where you at? Cam
You
up.
see the way my wax situation is set up?
All
I
right, so
can't.
take a point one.
I can't even take a point one. I'm out.
Carlito is in the building.
Wait, I got still a little stuff in here. Hold on.
I
You
love
can
it.
do it.
I love it. I love it. I love it.
Shout out to Scorch Tort.
Oh, you did end up having a torch.
Haha. My pocket one.
That one's fire. That one looks better than most fucking other torches.
I thank you.
Like most, like, damn Newports. What's up, Def? My name is Def.
My guy Def in the building.
Yes. Stick.
Yeah, Def, you're in the chat. I'm gonna ban you. Hold on, let me go.
Ooh.
Ban you from the chat, Def.
Why?
No, I'm just kidding. You're joking. What the hell? Why is he show? Why does it show him muted?
You're too late.
It showed you muted for some reason. I don't know why.
You what?
Oh, Def was muted, and I don't know why, and that was confusing.
I already laid my comment down, bro.
Hey, bro, I'm your friend, bro. I wanted the
It's too
Broncos to
late.
beat the Raiders.
Oh man, I'm out of here.
You need love. No.
That was fire.
That was mean.
Let's go, Def. Let's go, Def. I see you.
He's really that mad that the Raiders beat the
I was
Broncos.
angry too.
Are we gonna be nice? We're gonna be nice in here.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
So this switch right here. I'm a raider. I'm a raider. I'm a raider. Suck the Broncos. Suck the Broncos. I'm not gonna say fuck the Broncos. I'm gonna say suck the Broncos. So
Oh my
yeah.
god.
Don't look at me, bro. I'm just over here smoking
I love you,
guava.
Dev. I love you, Dev.
I'm just guava smoking, bro.
I still think you're awesome, but when it comes to football, I'm a raider. Yes,
Man,
witches can enjoy fucking sports.
I am.
Witches.
You know what? I have nothing to say, actually.
I'm your
Yes, you
friend,
do. I
Def.
love you.
Def, I'm your friend, bro.
Yeah, I
Everyone's
can say
my
fuck
friend
the
in here.
Niners.
All right, I just want to tell you
I'm
that,
just,
bro. I haven't talked to
I'm
you in
just
a day.
glad that I'd rather be greeted with a hello instead of my Broncos lost. I
Hey,
was
I
like, you know
didn't
what?
greet you. I didn't
I
greet
thought
you.
earlier
They
this week, I
are
was like, hey, you know
licking the
what?
Raiders' cleats
I
right
think this
now.
I think that loss is gonna sweep clean right by them. It's already gonna be the next weekend. I mean, you know what I mean? I was like, it's cool, cool. We're already in the next week. I haven't said one thing about it, and then I was like, damn.
My bad. Yeah, nah, I didn't get
There's
you
no way we're
once.
getting. You know
Def,
what? But I'm not gonna lie. I wouldn't let you get away with it either. So
Def,
I knew.
Yeah.
I knew it.
I still love you. We're still friends.
Of course we are. Of course we are.
Because what if friends don't talk shit to each other about their fucking team?
How could I
Are you
not
really
know
friends
that?
though? Are you
Man,
really
yeah,
friends?
exactly. Exactly. That's true. Yeah. If you're not fighting, you're not friends for sure.
If you're not debating
I don't know what you're
in a
talking
healthy
about. I've
manner,
been
you know?
yelling at.
No, we're not doing it on my segment. No, we're not
Hey,
talking
but
about it
man,
on
you
my
know
segment.
you're a Raiders
We can
fan.
talk
That's
about it on any
crazy.
other day, but we're
I
not
was
talking about it on my segment.
I don't
I was
even know
waiting
what I
for
was
Chair
gonna
to
say.
hear that from Money. I was waiting for Money to tell me
Yeah,
on like good stuff.
where is that, bro? Wow,
Get Money in here. Let's get
Uh,
Money in here
uh,
so he could let me
y'all
have
can
it to
talk so
get
much
it out.
shit last night, but you can't even be in here to talk shit right now. Okay, that's mean. I
Man,
see how it
man.
is. We threaten. It was all for clout for TikTok.
Hmm. Oh, guess what? Guess what? Check this out, man. Check this out. Check this out. Yo,
Oh,
Ab.
it's pretty.
my
Oh, what
bad.
is
My
that?
bad.
It's a mimosa. It's
Oh,
a
okay.
mimosa.
Let's go.
It's a mimosa. I like that. No, I'm like reading weird right now. It's okay.
Some good old
We're
fresh
gonna take one
press.
more day and
Let's
we're gonna get back to
go.
it.
Okay, sounds
Can
good.
I just say I like your dab mat?
Oh, thank you. It's by Darby.
Darby Holmes.
Darby. Mm-hmm.
My
Is
boy.
it a clover or is it a lily pad?
So it's a clover,
It's a
but it's not practice
peyote.
clover. Oh yeah, exactly.
It's a
Peyote.
that's what okay, I did not know what peyote looks like, so now I know. Hello.
Same. I've never seen that in person. Like real peyote, never. I'm not gonna lie. I've seen it in movies and
It's
stuff.
because you live in Texas.
I
It's
thought it
because
was
you're
like
not
tunas.
really cool, Dev.
I don't
I'm
even
just
know what
kidding.
that means.
But yeah, man, we don't have no wax over here. We don't have much.
Talking about.
This we gotta drive to we get around in horses. We get around in horses.
Who said that?
We
Your
get
girl?
yeah.
That's fire.
We go squeeze fresh milk.
Milk, milk, milk. Milk, milk, milk.
I drink oat milk. I don't even drink milk. I drink oat milk.
I've never had it. I've
It's
been
not
curious
oat
to
milk,
try
it's nut juice.
It's no
Damn,
what?
oat milk
No,
is fire.
not
Damn, a
no.
torta
There's a
sounds
difference
fire too.
between no. You can have almond milk. I didn't say almond milk. I said oat milk. It's an oat
Ooh,
Oat
I love
milk?
that.
Alright, then that's grain juice.
Fire.
for sure. I drink grain juice.
That goes best with certain alcohols for smoothies. That's all I'm gonna say.
I love that food mix, bro. I love it, dude. It's so refreshing.
Did I hear
You want to know
horses?
what's refreshing at midnight?
Hey.
You
Hey,
want to know
look, we
what's
got
refreshing
Hetty
at
Redneck in
midnight?
the building.
You said
My
You
what?
ready,
favorite,
bro?
and I make them every year for Halloween. Midnight
God,
margaritas.
At the bars, that's how everybody looks out here. When you go to a bar, everyone's dressed like
Ooh.
it's head neck in the building.
Oh,
Yeah.
my favorite one.
That's why Def pulls all the ladies, because they don't see people like Def a lot.
Why you gotta? Wow, is that a real cowboy?
Me.
You're darn right.
Mm,
You heard that, boy?
You're darn
You're
tootin' right.
absolutely right, boy.
all right.
Darn fucking right.
And now dab time is over. So on to the next. Anybody else have um tarot reading questions as far? Even
Hmm.
YouTube.
Let me get a 20 card reading. I'm just kidding.
Damn.
That
I'm
would
just kidding.
definitely be
Are
No,
you
a
gonna?
I'll go
Yeah.
with at least one though. A quick one. I'll go with a quick one.
Hey, quick, a
Okay,
light
who's
one.
payment first on that 20 card reading?
20 card reading. Happy to them too much.
Um,
So Rob get all excited. And I'm too confused.
Gotcha. Tweaking.
No, I just I just wanted to start the readings off because I know some people don't want to, be like, yeah, I'm down.
I don't
Which
know
I
if this is-
appreciate it.
I like, and I like to hear about stuff, so it's nice.
And if not, I would actually like to take this part of time to tell you about my girl over here, Jairus Joy Station. She has a wonderful person inside and out. She has this company, and she makes amazing items into it. You like incense, she makes them handmade. She has plants from her gardens that she does for special bundles of sage, of chamomile, of teas, oils, the things that you can name it. She is a wonderful card reader as myself, and also a fellow entrepreneur with her own business, as I do myself. I am the owner and creator of Starlight Hollows. She is the owner and creator of Jairus Joy. Jairus Joy stands for empowerment, together, community, selflessness, self reliance, and anything that has to do with just about reaching your goals and your potential to be better, to be more than what you already are. And what you already are is at the starting point. And that's what everybody seems to forget, is that we never seem to be at the halfway, but we're always at some starting point of something new, a new relationship, a new career, a new baby, new family member, all those things. We're always at the starting point. And that's where her company represents the starting point of the new you, the new self growth, the new things that are coming for you. You want a reading? That's your girl. You want a good conversation? That's her. Everything that I do, she does on a 10 times uh, scale of just massive. Here I am. This is what you want. This is what you're gonna get, and this is how you're gonna get there. Only if you decide to put in the work, because a gift demands a gift at the end of the day, and you're not going to get in unless you pay ass, grass, or cash, because nobody writes for free here. But like I
Hell
said, you
yeah.
should go check her out. Her her Instagram at Jairus Joy Station.
Hi, baby. I wanted to say hi earlier, but I'm driving and I just went through like a really bad rough patch. That's why I left out and came back because it cut me off. I just wanted to say hi and
Hi.
identified with his comment earlier when he was just like screaming facts on mute. I've been driving like Ashe, Ashe, Ashe. You're doing such a great job, and I just wanted to give you some encouragement. I know you got a little nervous there for a minute, but you're doing such a great job, and I just want to let you know that I'm here. Um, just in spirit and support while on mute and driving back from Stockton to Sacramento right now, going in and out of service. But I'm definitely here. And you're doing such a great job. You're doing such a great, and you look so good, girl. You look so good.
Thank you.
You're welcome. You're
We were
welcome.
we were all just saying that in the chat too, in the group chat. We're like, Marz is doing such a great job, and she looks so nice, and we're like, yeah, let's go.
Yes. Yes, let's go. I was totally over here, like, just high screaming and giving praise the whole 45-minute drive. These people probably
Yeah.
think I'm crazy at the gas station and stuff.
I appreciate that so much. Like that makes me happy. That makes me feel like I'm doing something right then.
Awesome sauce, baby. I did also too like how like you kind of touched on like the transition period, and
Mhm.
also too for your previous read of kind of like letting things go that don't serve you. That actually came up for me too today, um, during late night chats with Jerry's. It was just the spirit was just on me. I almost cried because I like embodied the feeling emotionally, like the frustration and the sadness of of giving so much in the exchanging of gifts and outpouring.
Exactly.
And the time that we live in, where so much take than give, or one-sided and not so more of balance and equal exchange.
Hmm.
To the point, where there's a lot of hurt being created in all communities, even within ours. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
And I was glad that you touched on that a little bit about how to let go of things that are no longer serving you, and having the strength to, because it's like you said, it's not easy, and it does indeed take strength, but it is strength that you already possess. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
So I would just love to hear you just go off, and I would just let you do your thing. But I'm here if you need me.
Thank you
Okay.
so much. It means a lot to me that you are behind me because I definitely admire what you do yourself, and you empower me. You inspire me to kind of continue on, keep that upper lip going, and no matter where or what I do, and you make me want to be better. You make me want to be more than just what I am now.
Mhm.
So,
Yeah.
oh yeah.
Thank you so much. That touched me so earlier when you said that. I was just like, oh, okay, thanks. Like, thank you so much. That's so beautiful. You definitely keep going, girl. Like, volunteer, as I always say, volunteer. Don't be a victim. You know what I mean? It just comes that place and that time. I know you touched on it a little bit too about that solar plex, that eye of Ra, that sunshine energy of just standing up and taking your place in the light,
Yes.
and not being
Taking up
ashamed.
space and taking your place.
Yes, and not being ashamed of that also too. I know society kind of teaches us, especially in this one too, of like, everybody's a winner and we're all equal. And yeah, that's fun, but that's not real. You know what I mean? Unfortunately, it's just not. You know what I mean? We all have serve a purpose in this cog of machine and of body as human beings. And
Hmm.
some positions are different than others. I don't necessarily want to use the word elevated because I feel like that's poor word choice, but they are different. And I kind of feel like, it's a delegation, it's, gatekeeping, it's a passing down
That
of
part.
places and titles, kind of like,
Why don't
how.
you explain what gatekeeping is to our listeners over in YouTube? That's a word that's going around that I learned from TikTok actually. So shout out to Born Evil Studios TikTok over with Lil Money. I don't know where he's at right now, but I'm just giving shout out to him. If y'all have a TikTok, y'all should look up Born Evil Studios, add them, follow, vibe with, definitely connect. As long as find me on TikTok as well at Starlight Hollows. Add, like, comment, connect. This is the entire platform that's coming on Mondays, Mystical Mondays. So take it away and ask for gatekeeping.
um Gatekeeping has a double purpose for me personally, and my interpretation of it. um, some gatekeeping purposes can be, derogatory or hurtful in a manner to help continue to spread,
Hmm.
within communities and different segments of communities. What I call church hurt, but sometimes it's not even in church. You know what I mean? It's
Right.
within all community. We need to rephrase it for community hurt, not just church hurt. With
Exactly.
with some forms of gatekeeping, it's clicky behavior, it's mean girls behavior, it's we believe in this over there, or we participate in this over here, so you can't sit
That.
with us kind of
Yes.
behavior. You know what I mean? For as far as spirituality, I always like to highlight that to people. Spirituality is not a religion; it's a practice, it's a way of life. You go to the gym, that's a practice, that's a way of life. You go meditate, you go do yoga, that's a way of life. You know what I mean? Buddhism is as well. It's not a religion; it's a way of life. Spirituality is more so focused on the collectiveness of all of them and how they are speaking the same terminology. Like they're all saying the same thing but with different languages. But as far as derogatory gatekeeping, it brings division within the
Hmm.
community that is trying to bring unity, and highlight, not so much highlight what makes us different, but highlight what makes us the same. And then the other sense of gatekeeping is kind of when you become part of spiritual leadership, because you have that call on you, it's kind of placed on you to delegate placement and skills and titles, to cultivate others so that they can come into their full fruition of what we were just saying, of that sunshine energy, that solar energy, that raw energy. Sometimes you will have spiritual leaders who see things in yourself or feel the heat up off of you, as you would say, from the solar, and see you in a place that you might not see yourself in. And
Mm-hmm.
that's where, leader, spiritual practitioners and teachers like me and Marz will intervene, as far as, if you would call us life coaches, or, what I like to call as spiritual teachers, to intervene with you at that time of beginning, to help you cultivate and bring to the sunlight the skills and where your skills fit, as far as the cog of the machine of community, if that makes sense.
That part. And that's it. That doesn't make us bad. That doesn't make us evil. That doesn't make us good. It just makes us neutral. And when I mean by neutral in this aspect, because like we understand, we understand more than most, or like where we want to not give a fuck, but technically deep down we kind of do give a fuck because we're connected. And
Shit.
when you're connected, you kind of want to correct that bullshit. You want to like, hey, no, we can't do that. That's not that's not the end. And that's not my will overpowering that will. I'm just saying that it's in a general, like, that's not gonna get you nowhere, neither bad, neither good. It's just gonna get you onto more bullshit that I'm noticing you're kind of in my general direction, in my vicinity. Like, I'm gonna go correct the problem. That's just what I do. That's
Shit.
as the that's not my responsibility, but if it's happening right in front of me and you're a danger to yourself and you're a danger around other people, you best believe as a protector and guardian, I'm gonna do something about it. I'm not gonna
And
hurt
that's the
you.
key too that you brought up, that like it's not personally, like, even in for the other listeners too, in their positions, right? You guys
Hmm.
all have like a moral accountability to do what you deem is right based on your moral standards, right? Whether it's spiritual or not, like,
Hmm.
you see somebody snatch a lady's purse, like, it's a moral standard among community as human race that you intervene and you do something about it, right? So it's like it's not one place that's bigger than another, or that it's our place to intervene with your life as spiritual teachers. The thing about it is, like, accountability. We have to be accountable to higher power and accountable for education. It has that vibe of like leading a horse to water, but you can't make him drink, right? Like, I'm responsible to make sure that I find every lost sheep and try to get them to where they need to go. If they don't want to go, that's completely fine. We're not going to force that on you, as far as like just all spiritual, speaking in general for all spiritual teachers and practitioners. We're not here to force that on you. We're not here to judge you. It's like mom energy times 10,000. Like, I've been there. I've lived 10,000 lifetimes and bumped into 10,000 walls. And if I can just save you from knocking your head against one wall, I did my job today. And that's all it is. It's just love. You know what I mean? It's just a mom energy times 10,000. Back in the day, I know all of you guys are probably of age now. So you've gotten to that point where your mom used to tell you something. You're like, oh, girl, you don't know what you're talking about. And she used to tell you, okay, when you get older and you see, or you have your own kids, you're going to realize that I was right. And I'm pretty sure most of you guys are at the age to where you're old enough to be at the time to be like, hey, mom, you were right. And that's kind of like that same energy too, where like she can't force you, but if she can save you, she wants to save you, she's trying to save you. That's her due diligence and her responsibility as having love for you. It's like a love exchange. I'm responsible to love other humans in this exchange on earth, and it's my responsibility to save you if I can save you, but I cannot make you drink once I take you to the lake. You know what I mean?
That part. And that's where I still have my difficult times where I still cry because like everybody deserves it. And just by impressions alone, like, yeah, they may have fucked up a couple of times and shit like that, but it's like they really are a great person. It just so happens that at this time they get caught up in bullshit that they're still learning, you know. Just like gatekeeping in like certain things of clickiness that, like, although it's morally wrong, but that person should be talked to about it and not necessarily be scolded, but reprimanded, like, hey, you fucked up, this is bad, what can we do to make it better, or what can we do to get you to see that you're worthy of better people to be treated as, or your responsibility for looking out not only for yourself but for another person. But if that person is being careless and just being fucking reckless and not listening and being belligerent and just like under the influence of just like of assholelessness, regardless alcohol, regardless drugs, regardless mood swings, behavioral, anything of that, like that's their issue that they need to go and get handled, because that doesn't have nothing to do with you as a good person. You tried and they didn't want it, they keep projecting it, then you need to let yourself go from that situation. It is not your responsibility, therefore it is not your time, your energy, your place, your space. You take that shit back. You let them deal with that shit, because that has nothing to do with you. And if it's causing issues with your own atmosphere, then it needs to go out of your atmosphere. And that, as another term of gatekeeping, what a person can and cannot do. This goes so much into of having an opinion. Not everybody's going to agree with everybody, and that's fucking okay. We are not here to be one simulation as we think as fucking one, because we don't. A lot of us who, excuse me, are on the same vibe and frequency, yeah, a lot of us sometimes do think as one because we're just right there. And it's okay to be just right there. At times it feels really good. You feel like somebody understands you, they click, they know, because that's a tribe, that's a connection. You already know that feeling, because a soul will always recognize a soul. Real would always recognize real, no matter what. No matter what shape you come in, form, body, real would always recognize real to connect, because you already have this understanding. You already have these set of rules and set of boundaries. You just need to make sure that you're checking on yourself and you're checking in with everybody else, because it affects. And it's a opposite form of duality. It keeps express because it has to do not with duality. Duality means that there's good and evil, means that there has to be something more, cause and effect, and which is true, which is partially true. But the other, if somebody could chime in what I mean, please let me know. Like jump in and tell me on the mic, and that means you too, YouTube, because it's right there on the tip of my tongue, and I'm blanking on it. But it means that you are connected to everyone and everything, which is like roots in the ground of trees. How trees and plants can communicate with one another by frequency of sound and whatnot. So does that. When you're an earth sign, it means that you're strong and steady, like Tauruses, like myself and other earth signs, Virgo and so forth. They're to the ground, and they're deep rooted. I mean, they're very, very strong. They're not easy to move by, you know. Once a person says no and is quite persistent and determined, no matter how much the wind howls, the mountain will not bow. Mulan shit.
Yeah.
So a lot of us tap into ourselves, and that's it, our specific powers of earth, wind, fire, air, water, spirit, all of that. We're all so connected in that sense that we literally embellish it. And who's to say that I'm not to say like oh, I blame my attitude because I'm this. Okay, yeah, it's funny, haha, sarcastic memes, but no, at the end of the day, no, you do not blame your attitude, you this on that, because of the month you were born, or the year that you were born, or the attributes, or this and that. Like, honey, no, you don't get to be an asshole just to say to be an asshole, because you are literally going to be starting wars that you cannot win or finish, because you therefore will just sit there and die, because there's nothing you can do about it. You deserve all that. Repercussions happen. And I am not the judge or jury in this sense, but if you do the cause and has the effect, and you react and they react, like, you did wrong. You need to be reprimanded. Take your shit. The crime needs to match the punishment, right? So there's that case. What I'm saying is that you need to be responsible and self-aware of your actions. If and learn how to take self-criticism. Not self criticism, but constructive criticism. Constructive criticism means that I'm not hurting you outright. I'm telling you logically that this is wrong and it needs to be corrected. And therefore, when it's corrected, you learn. And when you learn, you grow. And when you grow, you expand. You know, you take the one up mushroom from fucking Super Mario and go, woo! That's basically what that means. But the more that you de escalate, you literally start cutting off from the connections of the universe. How we're all one in a sense of like connected to like we feel each other's pain of empathy and sympathy of things like that. And I'm not saying like this on a spiritual level. I'm saying that we are naturally connected because otherwise we wouldn't have the meaning of empathy and sympathy because that means you're forming a connection. We are very social creatures at the end of the day, and we are animals at the end of the day. Yeah, we are Homo sapiens, you know, but where did we all start it out at? As predatorial animals, as hunting with spears and starting wars and killing? That sounds pretty animalistic to me, right? But in a sense that animals respect, therefore that's what we kind of disassociate right there, kind of cut that off. A lot of us are still in touch with our primordial selves. Why do you think some of us are just a little more aggressive than others? Some of us have a little more keen senses than others. It's nothing to be ashamed about. It just is. You exist, and it's okay to exist. But that doesn't mean that you can't have manners and show a little decorum, show a little compassion. And that's all it is, compassion and understanding. But where do we draw the line of compassion and understanding when it feels like we're just being taken advantage of? That's the tough one. That is the absolute toughest thing as a human being to decide of when is it being abused, because a lot of the time love can be abused. Love can be suffocating. Love can be like somebody not giving your space and you're like slowly going to maddening because you can't get one time to just think by yourself. And then love can hurt. Somebody can abuse that and take fully fucking advantage of it and leave you stranded and be like thirsting and starving for any type of affection and literally drive you fucking mad. It's fascinating. And it's just like, wow, it could go either way. So, where do we find the balance in that? And I'll tell you where we find the balance in that by talking about our vulnerabilities. Yeah, it's a double ended sword, but it just depends on how much you're willing. A lot of us have been through a whole fucking lot, especially what I see on our other segment called Mental Health Awareness Wednesdays, where we all get together and we literally talk about our day, our 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 tribulations, our triumphs, our testimonies, and just like it's amazing to me on how much that is such a deeper connection of people, of connecting our little tribe. And it just makes me so proud because it's just like I'm being accepted. I'm my local weirdo, and like I'm perfectly fine by that. But I'm also a person who understands and shows compassion because I've been there too. I know what that's like. I know what it means to be restless at night and having one eye fucking open, making sure nobody is around you, making sure that nobody's out to get you. I know that feeling. I know what insomnia is like. It's horrible. It's an absolute torture. But I also know what it's like to find comfort in the silence of the void because there's an understanding that behind the darkness is the light. And if you find that comfort space, then you realize you are far more capable of overcoming our nightmares, our fears, our PTSD, our CPTSD, and things of that nature where we understand it's like, yes, this is what I have to deal with for the rest of my life, but it's not going to rule over for the rest of my life because I'm going to fight it. I'm going to attempt to cage the wild beast, but in a sense attempt to understand the wild beast. This is what's left of a person who has been through so much shit that all they're looking for is a little peace, a little love, and a little comfort. They know they're wild. They know that they're not meant to be tamed by most fucking people because they don't know what they got into. Yes, they mesmerize people with their angelic, vibe, this comforting, this warmth. But do you ever wonder what it takes to cultivate that warmth, that comfort? You wonder why y'all have a certain attraction to spiritual people is because deep down you're connecting, your soul recognizes that, but you don't know how to take it.
Uh-huh.
A lot of you find this to be like, oh, wow, how does she know? Wow. It's, yes, some of it is magic, but some of it is also intuition and the fact that you're recognizing your senses or you're coming into your own power. And I'm just here to just watch. I'm here to, cheer you on and, and guide just a little if you want it. I'm not here to rule. I'm not here to say I'm the most powerful bitch here, but I am the most powerful that I know that what I've been through, my struggles, my tribulations, all this and that. I'm powerful in my own right. And who gives a fuck if somebody else is better and does this and does that? It's like, oh, well, I'm not here for competition. I am here to help, to observe, take notes, and find out how can this better my own life? If it's bettering for them, maybe I'll try that. That's what makes it, that's what makes being an eclectic person so great. Eclectic means you take a little bit of everything, you kind of make it your own. Eclectic means you have so much, um, a vast plethora of just, different interests that you kind of pick and choose along the way. That I know growing up Catholic, being born in the Catholic family, Catholicism wasn't for me. I just didn't feel no connection. I didn't feel the love. I didn't feel the warmth. When I was out in nature, I felt the warmth there. I felt it like no other. I felt safe for once. I took off my shoes and I took off my socks and I literally dug my feet in the ground and I grounded for a moment and I felt I was home. Like, holy shit, I felt like I was home. That's something I will never, ever forget. But that's also me connecting to my roots, connecting to my ancestral where I came from, where everybody else comes from. And that just means we are one human race.
Amen.
Human race. You didn't, and I say human race. So again, human race. Racism, I'm gonna say this as racism equals race. Race equals your scientific genome name, Homo sapien. You're thinking of the other word, prejudice. Prejudice means you don't like that person's color of their skin. You don't like that person's religion. You don't like that person's ethnicity.
Facts.
Y'all,
Facts.
y'all, this is the connection here. We are not talking about when we say racism, no, you're against another human being. Just say that. You don't like that human being. Or, I am not a racist. I am a prejudiced person. Prejudice is the form of what racism means. And I have no idea why we say racism so much when it's not even about fucking race. It's about being prejudiced. You don't like that fucking religion. You don't like this. You don't like that. You don't like this. It's a fucking opinion, yo. It's like, oh my God. The English language confuses me so much and it makes me feel bad that second language learners who learn English, I understand why y'all get confused. Cause this shit's confusing too. As a person who practiced the pagan ways, and when I say pagan ways, I'm not saying neo-pagan. I'm not saying new pagan. Like, that's okay. New pagan, y'all love and light, y'all. Love y'all. Have nothing but love. We're allies. We're cool. But we just don't fall under that sanction. You know how we have separation of government, of the federal and of the state? That's the way kind of the pagan runs. Okay, we're all allies. brujas, those who practice voodoo, those who practice hoodoo, those who practice Santa Muerte, Santa Maria, all of that, we're allies. We're all allies. We're all connected in that. Why? Because we all follow a spiritual path. We don't all follow the same spiritual path. Those who practice with the infernals, okay? Y'all still my people. But those who practice for a trend, those who practice for, I'm gonna start a war with this, and I'm not trying to, but those who practice for the sake of following because it's for chasing clout, for any of that, y'all need to stop. I'm tired of cleaning y'all's messes because it's not right. And it's not how you teach the others who want to genuinely learn. Okay? It's not how you go about it. And you should stop because you are really pissing off other people's pantheons. You are really pissing off other people's deities and other people's practices where they're going to come after you. And there ain't nothing you're going to do about it because you just need to accept your punishment to fit the crime. I'm not saying you can't defend yourself, but do you really need to defend yourself if you're doing wrong? You need to be reprimanded. And I'm not here to be a mother. I'm not here to say irresponsible because no, I'm not gatekeeping. I'm not in that. I'm not involved. I'm on the
This is
gray area.
amazing, y'all. Real
I'm
talk.
here to watch and observe and learn as well as to apply
Amazing show.
and to make better. Y'all know about the indigo children, the crystal children, the rainbow. That's a lot of us. Okay. We all came in sprout and what's the word I'm looking for? Spats. We all came in certain spats. Spurts. There you go.
Spurts. Yeah, you got it.
We all came in spurts. I just so happened to stay 10 years behind. I feel 10 years older than what I am because I felt bad. I personally made that choice. I know that deep down in my soul that I purposely stayed behind 10 years because I was needed then. Still needed in a sense. But I also know that I can't save every goddamn body because I have a big ass heart. No. My heart is just a little bit colder. Not saying that it's not big enough, because that's bullshit. But it's a little bit colder and I'm a little bit more cautious who I let into my life, who I let into my circle, who I let into my world. Okay? Who I let into my world. A lot of times I have noticed in the past years that some people around me get real possessive of me. Why? Because I'm a valuable asset. How am I a valuable asset? I don't know. Nobody is built like me. Is built for tough, Carlo. Yeah, I said it from earlier. But when I say it like that, I said because I'm a big supporter. If I see you doing your thing and I will vibe with you. I am not afraid to go up and introduce myself and vibe. If I see that you're shy or anything, no, I'm gonna go right towards you. Why? Because you look like you need a little help. You look like you need a little love.
Yeah.
And that's because I choose to. I notice that. I'm the type of person that I love freely, willingly, without no goddamn conditions. And that's why I choose the people I choose to hang out with, to vibe with, to really be myself with. Not everybody gets the same Marz. You kind of have to protect yourself around certain other people. It doesn't mean that they're bad, but it just means that there's certain you could only stand certain people at a certain time because you value your time. And that's nothing to be bad about. It is nothing to be bad to say selfish about that you want to spend your time the way that you want to spend your time. That is nothing to be upset about at all. And do you hear me, YouTube over there? It is nothing to be sad at all to be wanting worthiness of your time. That is called being self-respect. That is self-love. It is not, and I found this on TikTok. It's not, it's one of those that's like, I am not intimidating, you are intimidated. I am not going to dim my light just for you to fit in. No, I'm going to take up space and I'm going to create space along that. The more that I take up is the more that I can create. And what I mean by that, I mean I do two jobs in one. Not only do I take up space, yes, I'm a voluptuous one. So yeah, I'm going to take up a little space and you're going to fucking notice me. But I also create space. So you're going to notice everybody else too who you have decided to, to make feel like they're not worthy. And there's a lot of people in the spiritual community, I'm not going to name names, but who claim that they're healers and all that. I mm-mm, you're gatekeeping and you just don't realize that. Because you say that, oh, because you got to follow a certain amount of rules or we got to set a certain amount of example. Like, honey, we don't got to set in a certain amount of example because we're not on pedestals. We're not gods in that sense. We're gods and goddesses in our own right, but to be treated with decent respect, common decency, y'all. That's just me treating another person, another goddess, another god, acknowledging their godlyhood, okay, with just common decency. Like, like saying like, I'm gonna bring this example, and I'm not gonna name names, but like a person who only acknowledges the opposite sex only on their only on their looks, how great they look. Do you think they're fuckable? I think they're fuckable. Do you? Why do you gotta ask for validation, first of all? Because that is subconsciously up here saying that you're not worthy of them. Automatic. But you're cocky about it. Okay, you had a slip up. So what? Cry about it, get upset, get mad, then go do the work. Go on. You already know what to fucking do. Do it. Do it. And if you don't, ask for help. Just be humble about it. Because everything you have ever loved and worked for can easily be taken away because you no longer are worthy. You're no longer doing the cause because these are gifts. Everything that we do for ourselves, these are gifts. These are rewards. You can't reward and gift somebody that don't deserve it, that didn't put in the work because they had a slip up, because you're crying about it. Don't cry about it. Okay, you know what? No, let me rephrase that. Cry about it. Take the time that you need, but also take the time to work at it too. Sit with it, for God's sakes. Let it flow. Let you feel it, let it flow, but also start beginning to heal as you're feeling and flowing, because little by little you stop crying every day. Little by little you stop feeling the aches and pains, and then you start getting into routine. And when you get in this routine, you feeling like, okay, what are 5 things that you know that I want to accomplish today? And you knock out those 5 things. I'm like, wow, I feel good. What else can I knock out? Boom, 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 boom. And then soon you start picking up the pace. You start like, boom, nothing can stop me. Nothing can touch me. This is okay. This is the imposter of a god syndrome. I don't know if I have that correctly. This is where, like, after you're coming out of depressive state, you are starting to like, I'm feeling myself. I'm feeling myself. Hey, and it's okay. Feel those things. Work that fucking confidence up, because now you're coming into a new you. You're you're letting the world know, this is a new me. This is who I am. That old me, yeah, that existed for a little while, but this is my emergence. I'm only just beginning. I'm only just begun, type of thing. Yeah, I know I'm starting to get into like this rhythm wise, because that's what it is. We are taking off old skin and we are putting on new. We are putting on skin that is no longer being touched by what touched us before. Like, do you not know what that's like as a person who survived, sexual assault, sexual trauma, things of that nature, you know, mental and emotional abuse, big time, both males and females and shit like that. I'm not naming names. I'm just saying in general. Ooh, I just got tingled right there. Tingle, tingle, tingle. But that doesn't mean you're not worthy. It just means that they no longer can touch this new you, this new you who's growing into yourself and coming into your power and taking up space and taking your place. Okay, I'll say this again, taking up space and taking your goddamn place. What I mean by that, I mean that this person can no longer touch you, that you are no longer that person that they hurt. You are a whole new being. The reason why I say that, I got this song off of TikTok, and it happened to be because and it put a little science to this, that every day we shed skin, thousands and thousands of skin cells every day, and every night we build on new skin. As somebody who survived, traumatic shit in the past, sexual abuse and things of that nature, I realized I don't have that skin no more. And there's this song that's like, why it could have been me, by the Strokes. So one of those, it starts with the S. And it could have been, it's like, it starts off like, don't want to live as an untold story. Don't want to live as an untold memory. And they're right. You don't want to live as that. And it gets me every time, because it makes me scream. I scream and I cry, because it's one of those things that I feel that. I don't want to live as if, like, I don't want to be forgotten. I want to be remembered for something. It may not be something, really big or life changing, but I want to live to know that I did change some things that were in my power, that I, started something and I finished it. And it is going to be my told story. It is, because, I am selfish that nature. I want to feel, I'm going to break the lyrics down. I want to feel love and pain. I want to feel pride and shame. I don't want to waste my time. I don't want to waste blood and tears. It could have been May, and it could have been me. It's an amazing song, and you can apply it to anything, but it makes you feel powerful. It makes you feel like, fuck yeah, fuck this. I'm going to do it anyways. I'm going to say, fuck them, to those that didn't believe. Fuck them that left me. Fuck them that decided that I was no longer an asset. I was no longer important. Fuck it all. Thank you. You let me know. You let me know where I stood and stand. And that just made me grow. Not just grew, but grow into a more better person, that I don't want people like that around me. I never said that I'm not cursing them. Okay, maybe I curse a little bit. Yeah, maybe I joke around like that. Okay, ha ha he he. But really deep down, I really do want to see you eat. You just can't eat at my table. You can't treat me that way. That doesn't mean that they're a bad person. That doesn't mean that, you know, we were meant to go. You're meant for a certain amount of time with people, because they end up teaching you blessings, lessons, or both. We are literally here. When we're born, we're alone. And when we die, we're alone. Why? Because that's how it is. We have people in our life for a reason. People come and go in our life for a reason. Because of that, they're shaping us into what we're supposed to be coming into ourselves, what we're meant to be. Ourselves, what we choose, what we want to be. Just because it happened in the past, does it shaped us to the point where, yeah, you're a little jaded, yeah, you're a little fucked up, but guess out of that fucked upness, you're really funny. You can't not lie. You're really funny. Or you get loud and you get wild and you get like, wow. Why? Because it's like you're literally screaming at your own self sometimes, to like, you're alive, bitch. You're alive. Forget about it sometimes, You get your excitement is just, sometimes it's overwhelming to people, but like, to those that understand and those that feel it, oh man, no, it's great. It's fucking great. And that's the type of people you want in your life, those that make you feel good about yourself, about your quirks, about your neurodivergence, about yourself. They want to cheer for you, because that's what real friends do. Real friends know that not everybody gets to celebrate everything all the time, like at the same time. We all go through different struggles, different journeys, different path takes, But at the end of the day, if your friendship is strong enough in the foundation that you built over the years with people, or, that has been going so far this great when what it should be, and you can lead by example of that from like old friendships to new friendships to present friendships, that's that's growth. That's what you would call technically an open circle in some senses, because everybody's taking, the chance to really speak on something that they really are really good at, really know about something, and then, compare notes afterwards of like, hey, I did this and did this, and you find like the common ground is like, oh, da. Boom. Who's to say you can't knock out two birds with one stone? Of they asked the same question but got the different answers, but still it connected to both. It really doesn't, it's not that hard, but it's if you take the time to really, you know, sit with, the person you are having an argument with, and you really listen to them and you hear and you really debate it. You don't take fucking shots. You could take, haha shots to, kind of de-escalate certain situations, but at the end of the day, if you really have love for that person, you will have some form of respect and therefore apologize not only to yourself, but to them too.
And there's
And then
millions
they,
of
you, and then they themselves. And then therefore you have an
fucking
understanding.
lives.
That's all that is. Now, not everybody's going to vibe with one another. Not everybody vibes on the same frequency of certain groups, and that's okay. But at the end of the day, we're all allies to something, to someone, to some place who's in that group that we may not be cool with. And we're so quick to say, oh, if that person hangs up with somebody I don't fuck with, I don't fuck with you either. It was like, no, bro, stop that fucking thinking, because it's stupid. It's not that you fuck with them who fucks with you and fuck with that. No, you just don't fuck with that particular person, period. That doesn't mean that that person has a bad vibe with me. No, you're literally projecting that person's bullshit on another person who has nothing to do with that. You are literally taking that. That's uncalled for. That's not fair. The fuck? Fuck that. Fuck that type of way of thinking. That's just, that's uncalled for. That's literally closing yourself off of, you literally could have had a blessing right there that you just didn't know it yet, but you robbed yourself. You robbed yourself of that type of shit. But as we do that, we also grow in that sense. So does that mean that we gain a life? You could say that. We gain life lessons. That's how you get wisdom. You can't gain wisdom if you're first not stupid, right? Or dumb, or do dumb things. That's just how it is. I say it's stab time.
All right, cam up, yes, scallywags. No,
I like that.
nah, you guys, you're
Wait a
doing
minute. No, because you said that, I'm gonna bring that out real quick. Hold on.
no
Let me
worries.
get there.
Mystical scallywags.
The mystical scallywags.
That's good.
Oh my god. Oh yeah, exactly. Yeah, let's go. That's tight.
Why do you think I fuck with you so much? Because you fuck with Jameson so much, and that's my
Look at
favorite
look how clean
whiskey.
that looks.
Whiskey.
Freshly
Let's go. I'm proud of you for cleaning that.
looks brand new.
I'm gonna be right back and get some water. So y'all mingle amongst yourselves.
I had to do the same thing right now a second ago. So I was like, all right, I'm gonna cam down, go grab a water real quick, and run back in here. What's up with y'all? Thank you guys, everybody on the YouTube. We do appreciate you. Peeping us out and coming here again. We'll be here every Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and then naturally, Evil season comes up during the week now on Sundays. This is what we do, content. Follow everybody. Follow Born Evil Studios on all outlets. BornEvil.tv if you're trying to subscribe to the YouTube so you can see these shows later after the pre-recorded. They'll also be landing on Spotify, Apple Music, stuff like that sooner than later. I kind of like to let the content create. I knew Marz was going to go pretty crazy tonight as far as spitting that facts. She got all the heat tonight, which is super exciting. It's cool, and we also get to add somebody that's a woman as a content creator, which is fucking outstanding. So it's a good look. It's a good look, and that's I think part of why we do this is so that we can eventually have so many content creators that we're just releasing whatever we want, for whatever that person directly does. So catch us this Wednesday, though, Mental Health Awareness. It's live every Wednesday at 8 p.m. Safe space. You can come and talk. It's always full circle. I like to make sure people know that it's just a safe location. You don't have to feel judged or just know that you're not going through things alone. You know the vibes. Yeah, exactly. Like Carlo said.
I was thirsty as fuck.
No, you're good. I'm right there with you.
I had to wet my whistle.
I was just giving
You had to wet your whistle.
My whistle, goddammit.
I know I'm joking.
No, you're not.
I'm always watching you.
Always watching you.
That is so funny. You can do that voice. That's so tight.
Oh my God, you have no idea the voices I do. Okay, I'm not crazy. It's just to entertain myself as a neurodivergent person who has quirks. It's just one of those things like I like impersonating things, I like mimicking, or I get bored. I'm creative with shit. When I make jewelry or bong charms, like I'm bored, I start fucking like making weird noises, and my mom's like, what the hell are you doing? I'm like, nothing, I'm just working. Just making things like more amusing for myself.
I'm the same way.
Like
Prado said in the chat, mystical dab. Accepted.
I'm proud of you.
I'm proud of you. That's
I won't
cute.
Call him dead.
Wait a minute. Wait. Do it again.
Fuck you, mom.
Fuck
you,
mom.
I want to play my PS5.
Yo, that shit was so good. Oh, man. It was nice because we were all like, already having a good time. We had a cool interview to start, and we got in there with Prado and was like, all right, cue up all the soundboards.
By the way, my dabs are provided from Ash, who's there with the Cheshire Kitty.
Cheshire ass motherfuckers.
Yeah.
Let me get some of that potato salad.
Thank you, Ash. This is actually bomb, too. I've been scarcely dabbing it.
What'd she grab?
How's the world of YouTube going tonight? What's new for them? How's their night going so far?
Looks like
as
Prado,
I load my dab up.
Cargo, Edgar, Ricky, Bobby, Rose is
Is
in
Mickey
there.
still?
Looks like it's going good, man. Y'all are always welcome to join if you're here.
You're all muted.
And you'd like to get a... Oh, sorry, y'all. They can at least hear me on the YouTube, thank God. Which is like who I was actually talking to, which makes more sense why it was muted now. My bad. I'm stoned.
I thought you were talking to us, so I was like, wait.
You're good. I was trying, and that's why I cammed down too. Like when Marz was talking, because I'm the only one cammed up, and I'm like grabbing the microphone and talking. And she's probably like, wait, is he saying something to me? And I don't want to end because she's just, she's like firing the bars off one by one. Bow! Bow! Oh, yeah, I want to get down this wormhole. Yeah!
I mean, like, technically, that's kind of like I want to go there. I want to take everybody on a trip.
So what's cool
and I don't mean like with drugs. I'm literally saying expanding your mind. I want to take you on a trip. Let me be your guide. Come with me and you'll see all the pure imagination. I want to be your Willy Wonka of good vibes.
What's cool is like all of that can be just listened to in the car. You know what I mean? Or
Exactly.
you don't have to necessarily watch it to catch the vibes from it, which is why
No.
I will continue to do the best because I think that a lot of the things like our mental health days too, although it's nice to see people, they could listen to it and literally get the same response, and that's what I like is having more than one that we can start submitting more often to Spotify and to those outlets to start kind of touching other
Oh,
bases that I
absolutely.
don't normally, you know. I'm just starting to get
Absolutely.
spicy with stuff. I know that the Fable season stuff has been uploaded the last season, but we didn't upload this season at
Hmm.
all because I felt like we had some listeners on there, but most of the people just watched the YouTube, you know. But now that there's more than one show, it's different. It's a little bit, you know.
I was like really nervous. I'm not gonna lie. I'm gonna say like I was really nervous today. I'm like I didn't sleep very much. I'm like y'all low key made me so paranoid about y'all really catching me to fuck up when I'm sleeping. Like I'm just like nah, I'm ready. Fuck it,
Nah, you killed
come
it.
at
You're
me.
killing it. Come on.
But I honestly I've never laughed so hard in my life afterward. The fact every time Rob went to bed is when like the 30 lashes start now until y'all pass the fuck out. And mostly it was me. You smell like beef.
I don't know why I'm
Shut the
scared.
fuck up, Marz. Go to sleep, Marz. Fuck you, Marz. I'm just like, damn.
Hey,
Who?
Rob, made a podcast voice channel in case like next time we're on here and other people join in, they don't know we're on a podcast. They don't know that we're streaming. They could
Ooh,
know that that's why we're in there.
true.
I don't see why we can't do that.
No,
Honestly,
I'm just saying just in case. So like
No, that's a good
because I know
idea. That's not a bad idea.
some
'Cause,
people will hop on and they'll cam up and unmute right away
like, yeah,
and
no,
like
see, that's the beauty.
instead of
That's
having
why.
to
Go ahead, my bad.
yeah, like instead of having to server mute them, we could just go ahead and just so it's not like
I'll go ahead and set
I'm
that
like
up.
low key.
I'll set that up for
Fucking
us,
petty.
and that
Ooh,
way we can
that's
access that.
cute.
Oh,
Have you
that is
put
nice.
mushroom?
a voice channel right now on Discord for the I put podcast room.
It's a whole slurper set.
Why
Shout
does
out
it
to
remind me of
Def.
Red Jasper a little bit? And that just looks dope.
Like so when people hop on Discord, they know that we're on there because we're on a podcast at the moment.
Right.
And then when people if they want to, they could come kick it in the other voice channel.
Quick to showcase my little goodies as well as my own items I've been working on the past couple of weeks. But first, I'm gonna show this awesome painting that I have. I actually have quite a few awesome paintings, and I'm about to bring that out.
I think this is the wrong.
I'm bringing out my first ever stoner painting I got at a sesh that I'm super proud of.
Hold on, I'll create it. I think you created the wrong one.
Why? Because it's my show. First off, I'm gonna say I'm a shout out to Miss Emily. Did a badass trade, and she has just amazing work. Look at that, the shiny reflective off the moth.
Oh,
I was like immediately captured by this when I walked into Rob's house. I'm not gonna lie, I'm just like, I like that. The purple and the gold, but it's the sparkle that really got me. So thank you, Emily. And then shout out to my girl Ash. This was my first art that I picked up at a sesh.
okay.
She is super talented. You can follow her on Instagram at Ashlyn Zombie Art. If you go to my Wicked Sins page on Instagram, look her up. She's my group of following and friends. She does commissions, art commissions. She makes great resin art that I love. She makes grand fucking jewelry that I'm obsessed over. And she does tattoos and she draws for tattoos too. Really great artist. Look her up. She's wonderful. She's a great person. And she has amazing fucking artwork that you can go and buy today, right now. Absolutely right now. And then I, who am the owner of, like I said, Starlight Hollows, I make all types of jewelry, not just for the earrings, to daunt yourself necklaces. Like this is mine, my original creation of the crystals. But I also do bong jewelry, bong charms, such as this. This one is Marissa's gift. I freaking forgot over the weekend. So my bad, Marissa. This is your birthday gift for a bong charm. And you can wear them as bracelets too. If your wrist fits, it sits. 2 in 1. Not only that, I do sets. All of them I do are custom made. Not one is ever the same. Not quite, but do different colors of the weed charms, of the teardrop. If you're more fancy, if you're into bug lives. And then, of course, my favorite, Egyptian pantheons and so forth. But not only that, my platform I want to use as my intention to show off in my community what I think people should be go hitting them up and stop sleeping on personally. And I'm not going to be afraid to call out. So let that be known, first of all. You got Alice in Wonderland themed right here, who I also love. And my favorite character in that entire movie is a caterpillar. Caterpillar asked Alice, and this is like literally what I've taken onto myself personally, is like asking your mirror, oh, Alice, you lost much of your muchness. Not that Alice has lost much of her muchness, but she has transformed some of her muchness into more suitable ways for her to exist within the realm that she has to deal with the cards being dealt with. It deals with so much of mental and emotional stability of abuse. On one fact, it's a great story. On the other fact, it's a very, very, very dark tale of a very sick human being who sadly had an obsession with children. But I digress. Let's get out of that funk. Yes, I know. Yeah, on this, I probably should have warned that not everything is always going to be super positive, but it's just going to be facts laid down. Not necessarily facts, but more or less facts, corrections, debates, you name it. Please do not be afraid to correct me if I am wrong.
Let's go.
Please do not be afraid to speak your mind, speak your truth, because that's what this is here for as well. I am not here to judge. I am also not here to promote any kind of propaganda that a person could think. I'm just here to exist, to vibe, to share what I know, to learn from as well.
But was that reference that you made just previously regarding Alice in the Wonderland, was that regarding the creator? Regards to his mental sickness? Oh, okay.
Yes.
That's new information. The version that I heard is he was the first one to to have that mental sickness of seeing things grow or you becoming smaller, how it is depicted.
And I want to think it was the first form of schizophrenia without really without really knowing what schizophrenia was, I want to say.
I'm not sure if they ever called it schizophrenia, but I know that they did end up giving it an actual diagnosis, and it's actually coined Alice in the Wonderland syndrome now too. I believe that's the medical term for it.
But
Uh,
isn't that a sort of form of schizoform
uh,
in a sense?
it has I would say so. Like, I don't know if it has like the paranoia aspect or the aggression of schizophrenia, but it does have the hallucination effect of it, and it's more so focused on the hallucination aspect of it, more so than like the aggression and or paranoia. It really doesn't partner with paranoia so much so as you may be fearful when things grow or you become bigger, in
Mm-hmm.
the scene. I didn't hear that. I never heard any accounts that he had issues with children, but that that he made the book to express his symptoms for that mental health disorder, and it wasn't actually discovered and labeled a mental health disorder until later on, and they kind of backtracked it to him. So it is actually, I believe, like scientifically and medically labeled Alice in the Wonderland syndrome. Um, Apparently it affects a lot of people as well too, but a lot of them don't come forward, and it's also hereditarily passed down.
Well, dropped my knowledge. Thank you.
No
That was
worries.
awesome.
I was wondering about the other aspect of like maybe I didn't know that part
Shoot.
either. You know what I mean?
The more you know, the more you grow.
Yeah.
Is all I can say.
Oh yeah, that part. I actually they have an episode. I know you guys were bringing up podcasts. I'm a huge podcaster. Why I drive because I'm a truck driver. During the day
Hey.
drive. And it's on I think it's Medical Mysteries or something similar to that. They have the episode for Alice in the Wonderland syndrome to where it's featured, to where they go over like a whole hour or so episode about I wouldn't say how rare it is, but just how people don't say anything about their experience because they're so afraid of the stigma of like what comes with
Mhm.
their hallucination. I can't. Why can't I say that word today? Say it for me. When you
Which
hallucinate,
one?
yeah, that one.
When you hallucinate?
Yeah,
Okay.
I say it for some reason.
Hallucinations.
Why it sounds so weird today? I don't know why. It sounds weird when I say it.
Halogenics.
I don't
Because
know.
it sounds too formed to halo.
Yeah, for some reason, I don't know. It's throwing me off. But yes, most people don't want to admit that they are experiencing that symptom, so it doesn't really get like properly diagnosed, as
Hmm.
well as it like kind of being like hereditary passed down. But it was a really great episode because I'm also a fan too. So to find that out was really kind of cool.
I am really impressed by that. Like, I'm completely blown away, and I cannot wait
Facts.
to tune
Yeah.
into that because that just makes me kind of excited because I'm the type of person, like, I guess I fall into that category of basic of liking murder mysteries or Murder She Wrote, starting from that form, CSI, Criminal Minds, NCIS, things of all that, of criminal profiling, and to see what people do, why the things people do, or how to catch somebody, a predator, of things of that nature, because you're literally thinking as they are. So how do you catch an evil genius? Well, you kind of have to be an evil genius. You got to think like one. So therefore, and this is where I'm gonna bring into everybody has faced or some form of toxic narcissism. This brings into the light. I'm gonna scoot closer because we are gonna get into our feelings here real quick. I'm gonna give a warning. If you have experienced toxic narcissism and you are still hurt, you may want to get out of this chat. You may want to get out of this topic right now because all you're going to do is you're going to get upset at the wrong people, at the wrong person, and you're just going to get in your feelings and you can't be mad at the world.
Swamp cooler.
Calm
Yeah.
down. It's going to be okay. You're not on this part of the journey yet. But to those that have been, are survivors, are not the victim, don't play the victim of toxic narcissism because we recognize our own toxic narcissistic traits in ourselves. That's why we're not so hurt all the time by the way some people treat us, because it's like, yeah, it's whatever, it is what it is, because we also acknowledge some form of toxic, but we don't take the time to understand it and to help alleviate some of the toxicity and more put a place of love and understanding there. When I say that, I mean that I had a form of toxic narcissism onto me about 5 years ago from a 3-year relationship. I left California at 25. I moved in with the person who I thought I was going to be with for the rest of my life. And then things started going downhill. Things I should have noticed at the beginning, but I was so blindsided with my red rosy goggles and Marz thinks she could heal every damn body. Mm-mm. I did it to myself. That's one thing people don't want to admit is sometimes they bring things onto themselves. If there was already problems and they were red signs and you didn't see it, because I can do it. I'm up for the challenge. But that doesn't mean that it was entirely my fault. I accepted certain things, certain the aspects that I did wrong in the relationship. He hasn't accepted the shit that he has done in the relationship. He blames everything on me. And that's where that toxic, like, you have to cut off and you have to separate what is your fault, what is theirs, and what is the solution. How do I grow from this situation and not be that person, not be the one to let that sickness hurt me, help hurt other people along the way of healing. That's not right. That means that there's more work to be done, not only on just the self, but also on that person too. So therefore, it's a learning curve. It's a learning experience. Yes, it's going to hurt before it ever gets better. That's not a lie. That's going to happen throughout your damn life. So you kind of have to get over it and get used to it. Not to be insensitive at all, because that's not my point. I'm just saying that you have to be a little bit wiser and a little bit stronger each time that you get hurt. Yes, it's going to hurt. Yes, it's going to be so fucking painful and so goddamn annoying, but you start building up. You start taking the good shit. You start leaving out the bad shit. You start learning the patterns, and then you start picking up speed. When you start picking up speed, you're like, boom, boom, you're blocking, you're blocking, you're blocking, you're blocking. You start knowing yourself. You start building yourself up. You start feeling good. You're giving that love to yourself finally, that person you wanted that love from. And once you start seeing that, once you start recognizing that, then you start seeing that your own toxic traits, because everybody has them. Nobody's perfect. I'm sorry. If they say they have no toxic traits, they lying. The devil is a lie. The devil is a damn lie with that one, because that's impossible. And you want to know why? It's because I am learning about narcissism from a person who has it, who's been clinically studied, but
We're gonna
is
keep it
showing
going, y'all.
people
Let's go.
the help that with time, understanding, and help with this person, they're actually teaching people how to understand narcissism, how to deflect it, in a sense, how to cope, how to exist, how to connect. You see my fingers, the way that they're interwoven? They're perfectly placed and they fit. This is one aspect as ourselves on accountability, responsibility, and all of that is that we grow from our toxic traits. So, yes, a lot of us can be narcissists. A lot of us can be cruel and mean. And we realize that now as we grew older, like, oh my God, I was such an asshole. Worse. I know I was. I was angry at the damn world. I was mad. I was mad as fuck because I was literally like getting beat up. Beat up for what? Because of my skin color, because I was half of this and half of that, wasn't whole, wasn't, I was a crybaby because I didn't want to fight. And then something inside snapped at me. And so I just started wailing back. I started fighting back. I started becoming the ugliness in myself, the bull. This is where zodiacs play inside. You got the good traits of the zodiac, and you got the bad traits of the zodiac. This is all depends on, and I'm going to say this, the moon. When I say the moon, I mean like everybody's born every day, depending on what time, what the hour, and where the positions are it goes all in a fucking full cycle. It all goes in the different waning and waxings of the moon and the different rising of your damn sun. When you think about that, you think of how your aspects play into your different points of houses and what you figure out, which is a priority, which is really important, which is really negative. All of this plays in. All of this is connected. I'm just breaking it really down for you in a form of sense where you're not just focusing on symbols and numbers and houses and that. This is just the quirks of a person understanding your intellect, your emotional needs, your physical needs, your mental needs, your spiritual needs. And the reason my mouth twitch is because a lot of it is a sensitive topic that nobody wants to really talk about, because everybody gets all upset when it's time to start taking the clothes off, the layers off, and actually start being real. The opposite of narcissism is love, right? Well, this narcissistic person has taught me not only to recognize the traits in myself, but funny thing is, out of all the zodiacs, the most narcissistic of them all with toxic traits is the Taurus. I was shocked when I read that. I had to read it again. I had to read it a couple of times. Like, huh? The fuck? When? How? Please explain. And I'm already getting on the defense. And I'm like, wait a minute. That could be seen as a toxic trait. I'm getting on the defense. I'm getting ready for battle when there's no reason to. And I'm like, well, holy hell, this explains so goddamn much. So now, here's the thing. I'm one of those Tauruses who became self-aware because I got hurt so damn much over my own gullibleness, over my own stupid stubbornness to try to save and heal people who don't want it, or who have told me in their own ways, and I'm not paying attention to it because I'm so like, no, I'm fucking determined you're gonna be mine. Can't do it. Can't be like that. And so that's taught me. That's why I went through the shit that I went through. Not saying that it's okay. Not saying that I deserved it or not. I'm just saying it knocked my ass down a couple of notches of, you gonna sit your ass down and learn, bitch. Like, when I tell you that this man threatened me with the sawed-off shotgun, something broke in me. Not like I'm fed up, bro. Like something like I snapped and I got real big. And I'm a big person. But when I say I got real big, I mean like I start growing. You start elevating yourself like, nah, I had enough of this shit. If you're gonna do the damn thing, you're gonna do the damn thing. And if you fucking miss, I'm going after your kneecaps and we're gonna have a problem. Because I was so damn determined that one of us is gonna leave here in blood in in the police car. And it sure as hell wasn't gonna be me with blood with laying on the floor. I'd be in blood, but I'd be with the back of the police car, laughing. Said, at least it was worth it. Not many people see that as a toxic trait, but I do because it scares the shit out of me because that's not me at all. I know I'm a lover and I'm a fighter, but like, holy hell. I literally took a chance and played with death that day. I keep that in the back of my mind. And I remember, just because I'm the biggest and baddest, that I think I'm the biggest and baddest, toughest motherfucker. No, honey, no. My toxic trait is my determination, my stubbornness, my aggression, that I think I am so big and I am so goddamn strong and I'm so damn stubborn that I could get through anything. I have knocked down walls. I have moved mountains. I have crossed oceans for people who are less deserving of me. Okay? Who's to say what I wouldn't do for the right motherfucker? I did all that shit for the wrong shit, for the wrong people. That's because I didn't love myself enough, or I didn't see that I was being used. I noticed I was being neglected because I wasn't getting the shit that I was, you know. I realized that I was being groomed to be programmed to, oh, I gotta do something in order to get some type of affection, attention, anything that I deserve regardless, because that's common decency. There was so much I had to de-escalate for myself that was the hardest thing I've ever done, was actually be real and honest and grow with myself and accept my fractures, my shortcomings, my things that I'm not really good at, or things that I'm completely stupid at. I say stupid with the sense of funny because I'm directionally challenged. Like without a GPS system, I cannot find myself out of wet paper bag. But yeah, how can I be that way when I'm so spiritually fucking head on? I know where the fuck I'm doing. This ain't my first rodeo. I'm fucking confident. Like, ain't nobody perfect. I'm the most clumsiest motherfucker that I know. How do you trip upstairs? How do you trip on no wire? How do you trip in general? Why do you fall so much? I'm stubborn. I don't know. I'm not the graceful person. I just learned to fall and be like, strike a pose while I'm just like, I meant to do that. Oh man, I gotten so great at falling shit like that. Fuck it. Couldn't embarrass me, even if you tried. I end up embarrassing other people around me from the shit I say. Cause it be 1 minute we be on topic, 1 minute I pull something so far up my ass I wonder where the fuck that came from. It be like that sometimes. But I'm gonna go ahead and end this night by shouting out two more businesses. One of them is a homie of mine who I also work with, aka Lil Money. He got a shoe shop. You should go see him for your shoes, your sneakers, all your needs. You should get on here right now, Lil Money, and show your damn face, please, so they could see and so they could follow you on TikTok for not only your shoes, but also Born Evil Studios too, TikTok. Also follow him on his Instagram as well. And shout out to Bubba's Exotics too. He coming in with his fashionable clothing line. Y'all should really go take it out. Go take a look at it. All reasonably priced. If you want it, you want the fit, he will hook you up. He will hook you up from head to toe. Look at that. He was originally wearing Born Evil. Originally, you had see the background in there. You got Born Evil. You got Absurd up here with the Born Evil hat. We got clothing lines. We got everything you could possibly dream of. A small business friendly. My platform here all the time, Mystical Mondays, with your host, Marzipan. I hope you guys have a wonderful evening. Stay safe, stay lifted, stay medicated.